An ADT sign is more than a sign. It's a line in the sand. On one side, your family. On the other, an uncertain world.
For over 140 years, more people have chosen ADT to help prevent crime than anyone else. Get ADT starting at just $28.99 a month.
Tested, trusted, proven ADT.
With 36-month contract for licensing and terms and conditions, visit ADT.com.
Ad Council.
Are you wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars on termite retreat fees? If you're not with Turner Pest Control, you probably are. Turner Pest Control offers the industry's only termite and pest control package that never charges retreat fees, ever. You can get started today for only $99. This is a value of $500 or more. This includes treatments, installation of monitoring stations, quarterly pest control, and a lifetime guarantee, all for an unbelievable low $99. Even if you have another pest control provider, visit turnerpest.com to find out how you can avoid paying those high termite retreat fees.
If you've been waiting all summer long for just the right time to shrub up, that is to add some green and growing decor to your yard, your time has come. The place is Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. Prices have been slashed on all your favorites like boxwood, Florida petalum, ligustrum, Indian hawthorn, blue Pacific juniper, and many more. Not $12 or $15. All these shrubs are summer clearance priced at $2.99 and $3.99 at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens. Want a tree? The truckload tree sale means you buy one, you get a second one half price, delivered, planted, and guaranteed. And Bob still has a nice selection of herbs perfect for planting now at half price. Check the selection of blooming closeouts starting at just $1. More deals this week at BobWinesCameliaGardens.net. Same location for more than 60 years, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, just east of US 441, growing greener with Ocala since 1952.
Cookies, 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 cookies. We go cookie eating cookies.
When you want something special and fun for any occasion, get cookies. King Cookie in the Paddock Mall in Ocala will make a delicious, fun-filled delight just for you. So next time you're in the mall, stop by King Cookie or call 352-237-2557. KingCookieOcala.com. Customized cookies, cakes, and more. King Cookie.
Eating cookies. We're so happy eating cookies. Cookies!
This is the beat of a normal heart. Now this is the beat of a heart of someone who just snorted or injected or smoked methamphetamine. Why? For a high. And this is what happens to that normal heartbeat. It's irregular, it's racing, it's why it's called speed, and it can do bizarre things to our heads. It can make us aggressive and violent. We can start hallucinating and end up doing some serious damage to people. Call 1-8888-NO-METH today for more information on methamphetamine. That's 1-8888-NO-METH.
A message from the Partnership for a Drug-Free Florida and America.
WWOCA, Be sure to tune in to Ocala's longest-running morning radio talk show.
AM Ocala Live from 7 a.m. till noon, weekdays.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Visit the WOCA website at www.woca.com.
This is Kendall Carpenter with Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. I want to introduce you to the finest equestrian opportunity available. If you love horses and enjoy Central Florida's mild climate and rich rolling landscape, come explore Golden Ocala. Bridle trails weave their way through this stunningly beautiful community of stately homes. Our state-of-the-art equestrian center will meet all of your equestrian needs with style. Visit us at goldenocala.com.
New windows will beautify your home and bring you immediate energy savings. Renewal by Anderson of Central Florida leads the way in quality and installs the name brand homeowners trust. Visit renewalbyanderson.com for a free in-home consultation with the pros. Right now, buy 4 windows and get the 5th free. Plus no money down, 0% interest, and 0 payments for 12 months with approved credit. Visit renewalbyanderson.com. That's renewalbyanderson.com. Offer ends July 31st. License CGC 1523333. You can't put it off any longer. It's time to replace your home's AC system.
The answer is asolvesitall.com and an exceptionally efficient AC system. Let the pros at A show you how you can save on energy monthly and give your family added comfort. The great thing is that asolvesitall.com is on call 7 to 7, 7 days a week at no extra charge.
For a limited time, mention WOCA and get a special discount.
Call 877-765-4ACE or asolvesitall.com.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For Tuesday, partly sunny, a thunderstorm in spots for the afternoon with a high of 91 to 95. And then Tuesday night, partly cloudy, low 73 to 77. On Wednesday, partly sunny, a thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon with a high of 92 to 96. And Thursday, partly sunny, a thunderstorm or two around in the afternoon with a high of 92 to 96. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Evan Duffy.
Say that this country is in the toilet. Some would even go so far as to say the economy is going down the drain. But we say, if water runs through it, we do it.
Hi, I'm Sean Scott, owner of Mike Scott Plumbing, and I approve this message.
Hey Ocala, this is Kelly Hart, Executive Editor of Ocala Magazine. Did you know last year Ocala Magazine won more awards and excellence than any other publication in Florida? And this year, Ocala Magazine was named Best Consumer Magazine in the state. Now you can join me every Friday at 10 a.m. on Ocala Magazine Radio, where we bring the pages of Ocala Magazine to life, right here on The Source. Ocala Magazine thanks you for making us number one. And remember, there is only one Ocala Magazine.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala!
All right, 22 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this morning. When you look at what other human beings do, or what we human beings do, I don't want to say others, because guess what? We might be guilty of doing nasty things too. I've never been involved in anything as nasty as what I know we're going to talk about. Andrea C Hoffman is on the phone. She's a journalist for a Focus magazine. She specializes on the Middle East and the situation of women in Muslim countries. And she has written a book, and I believe it's with the subject of the book, Farida Khalaf, who, my gosh, what she went through. It's just heartbreaking. The book is called The Girl Who Escaped ISIS, and I'm not going to try to tell you the story right now, but when I read it, trust me, it was like one of those, like, holy cow. She had salt, what do they say, adding salt to the wound or something? Mm-hmm. She was wounded, and then they salted the wound, and you'll hear what I'm talking about in a second. This is her incredible story of defying the odds and escaping a life of torture after horrendous things happened at the hands of those who call themselves ISIS. Andrea Hoffman, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you? Hello from Berlin.
You're in Berlin?
I am in Berlin.
All right. Well, thank you for calling all the way from Berlin.
You're welcome.
We are in Florida, if you didn't already know, and so thank you for.
I know. We have Florida weather in Berlin right now.
Oh, that's good.
Nice.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yes.
And you wrote the book with Khalif. Am I right about that? I mean, Farida Khalaf.
Farida Khalaf. Well, yes, she told me her story. You know, I met her in an Iraqi refugee camp, and she told me her story. I interviewed her, and then I sat down and wrote the whole thing down.
Oh my goodness! And how many refugees have come into Germany so far?
Over 1 million. Some say 1.5 million. It's discussed within Germany. The official figure is a little bit over 1 million.
Wow. And so when the listeners hear her story, and I'm going to ask you to tell it in just a moment, is she one of many who have that same story?
She didn't come with a boat or crossing frontiers. She was actually on a program for Yazidi women. So she was invited and taken in by an airplane with a regular visa. So it was a little bit different for her.
Okay. I guess what I was trying to ask, though, is, okay, her story involves rape and the murder of her father and brothers. Are there other refugees who have gone through that same horrible circumstance?
Yes, there are. There are. The thing about the refugees is we do not know their stories. It's quite a hassle, many people who come from different countries throw away their passports and then they will claim to be Syrian because they know that the Syrians are not pushed back right now. But we have a lot of people who come traumatized like that, fleeing war, fleeing incredible perpetration and everything. But of course, we have also the other side coming with the influx.
Okay, now I want to ask you if you could tell the story of Farida Khalaf, and for the audience, it's just amazing that she's even alive, and it's so sad, and it's so good that she was able to escape this. But this is only a 2-year-old story. This is not like 10 years ago. This is just 2 years ago, right?
Yes, it was exactly in August 2014 when her whole world and her whole life break apart. She was a normal teenage girl going to school. She was in her she had just finished her junior year in high school, and she was taking her summer vacation, looking forward to her senior year. And that's when everything happened. That's when ISIS came to northern Iraq and first they took Mosul. And Farida was still watching it on TV and not believing it and thinking, oh no, but it's just Mosul, it's not, they're not going to come to our village. Just as people of Germany think, okay, no, it might happen in big cities, and then just the day before yesterday, it happened in a very, very small village. So that was the same situation. Farida was in her very remote village close to the Sinjar Mountains, and all of a sudden ISIS approached and surrounded the village, and they asked all the villagers to become Muslims. They gave them an ultimatum, but the villagers declined. And after a few days, they had a siege, actually. They didn't let anybody go in or out. And then after a few days, they came in with their trucks and their guns and their rifles and chased everybody out of their houses. They told them to take all their valuables with them, all their jewelry, their mobile phones, their money, and go to the school building, the same school building that Farida had gone before, her high school. And so she went there with her father and her mother and her younger brothers, and there was already the black flag waving on top of the school. And so first of all, they had to give all the belongings to those fighters, and they thought, okay, they're gonna steal everything from us. They're robbers, which they are, of course, but that was not it. Then they were told to separate the men and the women, and all the men were taken out with trucks to the fields close by, and Farida and her mother heard the sound of gunfire. And actually, all the men of this village, Kochu, 500 men, were shot.
My goodness!
A big mass shooting, a big massacre, and she lost her dad and her oldest brother in this shooting.
Wow!
But, she didn't know that by the time she was just in her school building, with her math assignments still on the board and listening to that and not being able to grasp it. And what came afterwards was even worse, than what she had experienced up to then.
They were.
But then she herself was taken into captivity. She was separated from her mother and taken with all her classmates into a local bus, and they were driven first to Mosul and then to Raqqa, and then they were sold on this so-called slave markets, just normal teenage schoolgirls. All of a sudden they were in this world of where
she was sold as a sex slave, and somebody bought her.
Yes, she was bought together with her best friend, who was with her all the time, from two men from Libya, and she tried to kill herself.
My goodness.
Yes. She was trying to prevent what was going to happen. She didn't have a real concept of rape or anything, because she was brought up in a very conservative style with a very strict moral codex. So she didn't know exactly what was happening. She just knew that she couldn't allow any man to touch her, and that it would dishonor her.
Right.
And so when they gave her orange juice, she broke the glass and she tried to kill herself with the glass. And she almost succeeded. It was she hurt herself very, very bad. And of course, I can't tell you the whole story. It's a very long story.
No, I know. But you've told us so much already. And part of the story, just to make it a little shorter for the listeners and for the sake of the interview, is she was able to escape, and then she actually helped. Was it 6 other girls who were younger than her?
She was sort of the team leader, and because she's very bright and very brave, and she very clever. So she found out a way to escape from this ISIS soldier camp, and they discovered that the door wasn't locked properly, and they waited for the perfect opportunity to run away.
Wow.
Actually, 2 other girls actually volunteered to distract their watchman because they were too afraid to take the risk to make this attempt to escape.
Oh, wow.
They thought they might be punished, and not even only them, but also their mothers and their family who were also in ISIS captivity. So they decided they were not going to take the risk, and they volunteered to entertain these soldiers who were the watchmen, and that's how they saved the 6 others who ran away.
So we don't know what happened to those 2 girls.
No, we don't.
Well, you mentioned earlier that the ISIS soldiers said, if you have to convert to Muslim, does that mean she was not Muslim?
No, she is Yazidi. Yazidis are an ancient Oriental religion. It has nothing to do with Islam, nothing to do with Christianity. It's something very much apart. They believe in some angels, and their most important angel is Melek Taus. And unfortunately, the Muslims have the idea that this Melek Taus is the devil. So that's why they feel
oh wow.
It's justified to kill them.
And that would be Muslims who are ISIS Muslim, because the story we keep hearing is that ISIS is even killing Muslims who don't exactly believe the way they do.
Exactly. Everybody who does not believe exactly in the way that ISIS think that Islam functions and has to be lived is not a Muslim in their view. For example, all the Shia Muslims or all the how do you say the Pakistani, the Sufi Muslims, they are not Muslims in their view. So they feel they have the right to kill them and take their women as slaves.
And Farida was a fighter too. She didn't let the men take her without putting up a fight, and for that she was beaten at times also.
Oh, she was beaten so terribly. She couldn't even walk. She was almost dying from the beatings, and she showed me her back. She has still the scars. I think they will never go away. Her back still hurts from the terrible beatings that she had to suffer from.
Where does she live now?
She lives in Germany. She doesn't really want anybody to know where exactly because she still feels a little bit insecure.
Sure. Yeah, but she's in a safe place. I guess that's what I'm really asking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the material, we were told that she was very bright. She was a math whiz, and she wants to be a teacher. Does she still have aspirations of being that?
Yes. Fortunately, she does. She's now trying to learn German, and she wants to pick up her studies again. And she's still fascinated with math because, unlike religion, math is very logical and follows strict rules. Everything is transparent and clear, and so she loves that. Yes, I'm not sure she wants to go. Her original plan was to be the first woman math teacher in her village. I'm not really sure that's going to happen, but I hope she will be a math teacher somewhere.
Yeah. Andrew, so you spent time with her in order to write the book, and in doing so, you must have developed a friendship.
Yes. Yes, I admire her very much for everything, for her bravery and for her courage to speak up.
How did it affect her and maybe your view of humanity as a whole when we read the Anne Frank book? She says in those circumstances, Anne Frank says, "I still believe most people are good." Does that sentiment reflect in what you see in Farida and maybe even in yourself?
Yes, it's quite disturbing to hear what human beings are capable of doing.
Yeah.
I mean, in Germany, we know about it because all we hear about in our history courses is the Holocaust. But in Germany, we are told, that was uniquely German. And now, after having talked to Farida, I'm not so sure. But I'm very sure that all these justifications that are giving, like religion, thinking that your religion is superior to another,
right.
Or in the case of our German history, thinking that your race is superior to another. It's all the same. It's nothing more than justification for crimes.
Very well said. Yeah.
Those people who commit these crimes, they are aware of what they are doing. They do not believe those justifications that they give.
That is a wonderful statement. Absolutely true. How can anybody not see that truth? I don't get how people don't see that.
Are therapists working with Farida for her emotional well-being and trying to convince her that she hasn't really lost her honor?
Yes. She is working with a therapist. Of course, it's a little bit difficult because of the language and the culture and so on. But I hope she will make some progress in that.
Andrea, you have really given us a great interview. Thank you for doing this. I went on Amazon, and the book is getting really good reviews. You've got 5 stars across the board. There's nothing less than 5 stars. And
I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know that? When did the book come out?
I think a week ago in the U.S., yes.
Oh, really? And it's already getting really good reviews. So what do you think? How do I ask this? Do you think? And I started to ask this earlier in the interview, but if she represents a lot of the refugees, then there's a lot of people, not just women, but people who really have been scarred by this whole experience.
Yes. lot of therapists in Germany are now getting extra education in treating traumatized persons.
But
that's for a reason.
Has the group of refugees included people who are not good, though? I mean, you've got some good people, but are the not so good people also coming in?
They are. That's what intelligence tells us, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, the majority, of course, are good people, and they are fleeing war, and they are victims of war.
Yeah.
But we know from intelligence that ISIS is also trying to get their people in.
Is her mother and her surviving brothers being given counseling also, and are they able to get jobs?
Oof, I think the job part will be very hard for the mother. Maybe impossible. She was a housewife in Iraq, and she speaks only Kurdish.
Oh.
So, but the brothers, her brother is her now oldest brother, her surviving oldest brother is 2 years younger than herself. So he has everything ahead, and her other two brothers are even younger than that. So yes, they go to school and they learn the language, and of course they have opportunities in Germany.
Oh gosh.
Was there any language barrier between you and her? It seems like you were able to communicate with no problem.
She is. She's a smart girl. She is able to talk Arabic, but she would refuse to do so. So she would want to talk in Kurdish, and I had a Kurdish translator.
Oh, okay.
And she must have really warmed up to you to be willing to trust you to write her story.
Yes, fortunately, yes.
The book is called The Girl Who Escaped ISIS, and it is written by Andrea C Hoffman, and the subject of the book, Farida Khalaf, who I hope I'm saying her name right, her incredible account of defying the odds and escaping a life of torture in order to share her story with the world. And if you heard this interview, then you already know she was sold into slavery and raped, and finally escaped and helped 6 other girls escape.
Yes.
What I don't know, the part I don't understand, how did they survive in the desert? How did they get from the desert to a safe place?
When they escaped at night, they were running the whole night into one direction, not knowing where they were going actually. And the next morning, they were hiding in a house that was deserted. And then you're right. Then they ran out of. Well, they didn't take any food or any water with them, so they had a big problem, and they had to ask for help in order to survive. And they took the risk and knocked at the door of one of the houses, which they had surveyed. They were looking at the people there. They figured out it was a family, so they thought, okay, maybe if they have children, they will have some sympathy for us.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not. They took that risk and said, okay, please don't hand us over to ISIS again.
Oh my goodness!
And
wow.
Lucky enough, they helped them.
Andrea, I know you have other interviews to do. Thank you so much for calling from Berlin and for sharing the story with us. For the listeners, the book again is called The Girl Who Escaped ISIS. I found it on Amazon, no problem. Do you have another website you want us to go to?
You can have a look at my own website at Andrea C Hoffman, FFN.com.
Okay, Andrea C Hoffman, 2 F's, 2 N's.com. Andrea, thank you so much. If you're ever in Florida, come see Disney World and visit us here at the radio station.
Okay, I will. I might be there in December.
Oh, excellent. Well, take us up on that. We would love to meet you.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Andrea. All right, that was an incredible story. We will be right back.
One person in the probe, 2 attackers shot and killed. Fox News, we report, you decide.
A Napa guy knows the only way you'd give a freshly minted driver a brand new car is if he promises to never drive it. Instead, let him grind the gears and knock over the neighbor's mailbox in something a little more suited to his skill level. And with over 400,000 parts and a little Napa know-how, he can safely drive something that's near